Part 1. Good Monday morning. I hope you had a good weekend. Chiefs won. Eagles won. Sorry, Kyle. All right, we really have to get back to business. I know last week we had a little bit of time off because I was doing reading assessments, but we are going to jump back into it. You had an assignment the last week or so, and a lot of you became very frustrated with that, and I understand, so we're going to do a quick review. And so I just want to remind you that so far you know 3 types of syllables. So when you were in 6th grade, we learned the closed syllable. So for example, that would be, let's say the word, I'm going to go very simple here, okay? Cat, okay? I ask you to scoop it, and I always, when I say what's the scoop or what type of scoop is it, that's where I want to know. Is it open, is it closed, or is it V-E? Now V-E, remember, it stands for vowel, consonant, and silent E. So it's, you might have learned it in elementary school as a VCE word. Okay, so we're going to focus on cat. Okay, cat is closed because it has one vowel and there's something closing in the vowel. It can be 2 things closing in the vowel or 3. So for example, let's say the word like squish, after the I would be SH. So that is still closed. And that means when it's closed, the vowel is short. So it's a closed syllable. The vowel is short, so we put a breve. And that tells us the A is short, so this is going to say a rather than a, and that's how we know it says k-at instead of k-ate, okay? Second type that you've learned, let's do the word olive. I like this because it's a 2-in-1, okay? So, in the word olive, you can see there are 3 vowels, right? And so this is another thing that we had some struggles with that some of you did, is being able to identify that this isn't just one big scoop, right? Because there's 1, 2, 3 vowels. So you might be thinking, okay, that's 3 scoops, and I get where you're coming from. However, silent E has to go with the vowel before it because that's what it makes say its name. So the scoop here would be all. If we can't just put one big scoop, okay? So there has to be a vowel in every scoop. When there's a silent E, there's technically going to be 2 vowels, okay? So all would be closed, and that would mean that the O says ah. Is that true? All, yes. Okay, now we move over here. The silent E typically is making a vowel say its name, but in this word, remember, it's not working that way because there's a V. So the E is not here to make the I say its name. The E is here because we know that in the English language, V cannot be at the end of the word by itself. Okay, so this is a vowel consonant E exception. But that's not something that I'm asking you to memorize, okay? I is slashed out, and the I is short, so in this case, we put a brief, but not always. So like in this word, let's say we do the word, let's do my, that is not what I meant to do. I'm sorry, that is not what I meant to do. All right, let's say we do the word slide. I drew a blank for a second. Okay, this has 1 vowel. This does not count because this is making this say its name. So because there's 1 vowel, silent E doesn't count. It's 1 scoop. And this is a vowel consonant E. I'm going to work really hard at from now on, not stop saying V-E and say vowel consonant E. That means there's a vowel, a consonant, it could be any letter. In this case, it's the letter D, and a silent E. We slash out the silent E, and I says its name, so we put a macron. So another thing we have to learn here is anytime we're scooping something, let's say we have a word, I just made up a word, it's closed, and a brief. Closed and a brief every time. Same thing here. If we have a word that's V-E, we slash out the E. Now, we have to be careful. It might be a brief, it might be a macron. Because like in the word olive, it's a brief. Because it's not saying it's, E is not making I say its name, I'm sorry. But in the word slide, E is making I say its name. Okay? All right, moving on. So we've talked about closed vowels. We've talked about when it's closed and has multiple scoops. We've talked about V-E. I'm sorry, we've talked about closed. In this case, when it's 2 scoops and there are different scoops, I'm sorry. Okay, now we are learning open. An open syllable is when there is one vowel and the vowel ends the scoop. For example, in the word halo, you guys practiced this recently. Okay, it's hey. Is that open? Yes or no? You say the answer to in your own head. Nod your head yes, nod your head no. Yes, hey. The A is at the end of the scoop. It's not the end of the word, it's the end of the scoop. Because the word is halo. But this scoop is done, hey. So it is open because there's one vowel and it's at the end of the scoop. And I hear the A say its name. So it's a macron. Open and macron will always go together. Open, macron, open, macron, open, every time. All right, here we go. Low, hey, low. Is it open? Is there one vowel and is the vowel at the end? Yes, open. What do I put above it? Breve or macron? Macron every time. Okay, so just going back over that, and it could be in a word like this. So you guys had the word isolate, and that was tricky for you because it's so late. I want you to ask yourself, what type of scoop is just I? Is it closed, V consonant E, or just open? You say the answer. Hopefully you said open. Now I want you to think fast. Do I put a breve or a macron? Hopefully you said macron. Okay, now we have so. The reason we're not, if we scoop the L, it would say isolate. Isolate. Well, that's not a word, so you have to be very careful, okay? All right, so we have so. What type of scoop is so? I'm going to cover up everything. Is it open? Is it closed? Is it vowel, consonant, E? Well, definitely not vowel, consonant, E. There's no E. Okay, hopefully you said open. Think fast. What type of mark's going to go above the O? Hopefully you said macron because the O says its name. So do you see? Open, macron, open, macron, open, macron, open, macron. Okay, and then the word late. What would you do here? Open, closed, or vowel, consonant, E. The L kind of blends in here, so just so you know. What would you say? Open, closed, or vowel, consonant, E? Hopefully you said vowel, consonant, E. Think fast. What do I do to the E? Silent E, slash it. What do I put on top of the A, breve or macron? In this case, it is a macron because there's no V. That would be the only time we would put a macron because the E is not there to make the I say its name. It's there because of the V. In this word, is the E there to make the A say its name? Yes. Okay, hopefully that helps. Okay. You are going to attempt to work with a partner on this, okay? You can work alone, but we're going to try to attempt to work with a partner. If it does not work well the first time, I want you to be very honest about this and go back to working alone, okay? So I want you to read these two. We're focusing on the green. We're going to ignore the purple. Let's see if I can I zoom out a little bit? Hang on, let me fix the camera so that word is... You can see it better. Okay, I'll just do this. That's okay. Okay, so we have the, just not, on both sentence phrases, it's just not going to pop up. Okay, one of these says happy, and one of these says baby. One of these says happy, and one of these says babby. Can you figure out the correct one? So one says the happy baby and one says the happy babby. Can you figure out which one is correct? Okay, you are going to now pause your video, ask your partner if 1 was correct or 2 was correct. Okay, pause, ask each other, and then when you're done, hit play and I'm going to tell you the answer. Okay, 1 says happy baby. So remembering in the last video that I made you, I gave you a lesson on when you need to double the consonant, when you shouldn't double the consonant. So a quick rundown is if you want the vowel to say its name, you only put one consonant after. If you want the vowel to be short, like in happy, do you hear that? You double the P. Because I'm going to switch colors. If you hear people outside of my house, it's just the windows open and I think people are leaving a concert or something. Okay, so here we go. Happy, happy. But if we went here, we can't put the P with the A. We have to give it to the Y. So this would say hey. Remember, because the A is at the end of the scoop by itself. Hey, like in halo. Hey, and then we'd have P. Happy. Now, here's the deal. You know how to spell happy. That's, I think, how you knew that one. The next ones might not be that easy. Okay, then we have baby, and then we have babby. Well, if we want the vowel to say its name, we only put one consonant after. So if we hear a B after it, we only put one because we want A. But if we want babby, personally, I've never met a happy babby or a happy babby, but, you know, we all have different experiences. So if you want the vowel to be short, you double up. So here is my advice. Think of it as these two vowels crushing the A and making it short, because two B's make this A short. So watch. Because we have to put one B with this side and one B with this side. So this says bab, ab, because it's closed. This is a closed syllable, so this is bab. And this says B, which would be open, babby. We don't want that. Let's go over here to baby. We want the A to say its name, so we want one B. Bay, B. Got it? Okay, let's do this again with another one. After you've decided on your answer, pause your video, stare at your partner until they're ready to talk about the answer with you, and then pause the video whenever you're ready to tell your answer. Unpause the video, I'll tell you the answer. Okay, what you were looking for in this one is a lost penny. Which of these says a lost penny? Talk to your teammate and tell what the other one says. You might laugh. That's why we have to spell correctly. Okay, pause the video. Okay, hopefully you chose this one, a lost penny. Why did you choose this one? Well, hopefully you hear that the E is short, so therefore we need two N's because it's a penny. This one says P-knee. We don't want that. We don't. All right, next one. I want you to find the one that says the crazy lady. The crazy lady. Pause the video till you're ready for the answer. Hopefully you chose this one. The crazy lady. We want the A to say its name. This says crazy. How do you know? Well, two Z's make the A short. We want crazy. Okay? Lady, we want the A to say its name. So we only want one D. If we put two D's, we have, tell me what that says, laddie. So this one says the crazy laddie. We don't want that. We want the vowel to say its name here, one Z. Vowel say its name here, one D. Okay, let's do another one. Okay. On this one, I want you to find the one that says the tidy lobby. The tidy lobby. Pause the video when you're ready for the answer. And it is this one. I tricked you a little bit because I wrote tidy the same. So maybe you were looking for it to be misspelled. Okay, they both say the tidy, but only one of these says lobby. It is this one. We want ah. We want O to say ah. If we want it to be short, we have to double the B. If we wanted to say O, we just put one B. So tell me what this would say. The tidy, hopefully you were in your head, we're saying low B. The tidy low B. We don't want that. We want ah, two B's. If we wanted O, one B. Okay, last one. I want you to pick the one that says a protest rally. A protest rally. Pause the video until you're ready for the answer. Okay, you should have chose this one, which is actually the incorrect answer. I mean, this is what I wanted you to choose, but we don't call it a rally, we call it a rally, okay? So how did you know that it was rally? Well, because one L makes the A say its name. If we put two L's, it's going to be short. Rally. Rally, rally. Hopefully that helps. Okay, we're going to move on. We are going to move on. Okay, we're going to talk about suffixes a little bit. So right here, I have, with not my best drawing I've ever done in the entire world, is 4 boxes to make a word. Okay, so I'm going to write the word. I'm changing colors. Let's do this. Chill. Okay, CH, it goes in one box because it's one sound. Okay, I, it's one sound. Ooh, it is one sound. However, we learned this rule in 6th grade. If a word ends with F, L, S, and sometimes Z, and it's next to a short vowel, okay, let's check it. Does I say I? Yes. We double the L. Okay, so here's the word chill. I am going to add a suffix to the end to make it say chilly. I want you to think about what suffix, yellow suffix frame I'm about to put down right now. So think about it. What would make this word say chill-y? Would it be an E or would that be silent? Right, it would be silent. So what other letter do we know that can say E? Hopefully you said Y. Put your hand in there real quick, put it back down if you said this. Perfect. All right, Y can be used as a suffix to make a word that describes someone or something. Excuse me. Y can be used to describe something or something. So what is something you could describe as chilly? Okay, maybe the classroom, maybe the weather, maybe a movie theater, maybe a swimming pool at this time of year. Okay, there's lots of things that can be chilly. Okay, and when Y is used as a suffix in the second syllable, it will, well, I take that back. In this case, it's only at the end of one syllable. It's going to say the E sound. So we've talked about before. That is nothing new. I want to ask you a question right now, and at your computer, pretending that you're talking to me, I want you to put a thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumbs up meaning vowel, thumbs down meaning consonant. Is suffix Y a vowel suffix or a consonant suffix? So thumbs up if it's a vowel suffix, thumbs down if it's a consonant suffix. Hopefully you did thumbs up. It is a vowel. Okay, because it makes an E sound. That's how. So, okay, then we're going to talk about, I'm going to take this away. We're going to talk about suffix ly and suffix ty. So this says ly and this says t. They're over there on the cheat chart, so you can look really quick and see if they're actually over there or if I'm lying to you. Go ahead and take a look. Perfect. Okay. On your whiteboard, I want you to write this word, and you're going to use these. So I'm going to leave these up here. Always do the base word first, okay? Because you don't need help with the suffixes. You are just going to slap these on because they're both consonant vowels. So they're just going to be slapped on no matter what, okay? So you write the base word, and then you're going to tack one of these on. Okay, I need you to write the word safe, like feeling safe, safely. Safe, safely. Okay, somewhere else on your board, I want you, and you do not have to mark up, so we're just writing these around. Now I want you to write the word brave, like home of the brave, bravely, bravely. She acted bravely. Ly suffix is used to describe an action or a verb. So you can act bravely. Okay, next word. This one might be a little tricky, so do the base word first, okay? 9, like the number, 9. 90. 90. Like how old you're going to be someday. How old I feel today. 90. And the last word I want you to write somewhere is safe. Yes, again. Safe. Safety. Safety. Here's why writing the base word is important. Because some of these words had silent E, and hopefully you didn't forget that. Because otherwise you have safely, bravely, ninty, and safety, right? So these are your answers. Double check them. I will hang on to this paper here for just a second so you can go through and check your spelling. Okay. Perfect. All right, we are switching gears again. We have to move on. I want you to think about when you learned in 6th grade what a 111 word is. It has been a while. It really has, since we've talked about 111. It really has. So, reminding you what a 111 word is. A 111 word, sorry, let's get my paper ready here. A 111 word is a word that has one vowel, one consonant. I'm going to write cons after the vowel. It cannot be more than one or it won't count. And we're in a space. It's one syllable. So for example, the word pen. Okay? It has one vowel, yes. It has one consonant after the vowel, N, yes, just one. And it's one syllable. Pen, yes. So this would be a 111 word. Okay, now that we have that figured out, I want you to, you can erase your board now from our previous activity, and I want you to, I'm going to fold the paper. I need to bring a whiteboard home. I think that would be really helpful. Okay, I want you to write the word fog plus suffix E, which is going to be a Y. Fog plus E, so it's going to say foggy. Okay, I want you to repeat that word, foggy. You can whisper it to yourself, that's fine. Okay, obviously we know the base word is fog. Okay, this is our suffix. I want you to use what we've already learned today and tell me how to spell foggy. Remembering what to do if we want the vowel to be long or short. So what you should do right now is decide, is this O long or short? Fog. Perfect. Is it a 111 word? Yes. Now write foggy. And you gotta spell it correctly. Okay, you should have wrote F-O. Now we want the O to say ah. We want it short. So that means we're going to crush it with 2 G's and add Y. Foggy is what you should have. Foggy is what you should have. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. If you doubled the G, great job. Okay, now we know fog is a 111 word. We already talked about that. But I want you to tell me why. What is a 111 word? It has one, you say it, vowel. It has one, you say it, consonant after the vowel. And it has one syllable. And we're adding a vowel suffix. So all that in there. Okay, questions for you, pop quiz. Is fog a 111 word? Yes. Why? Well, we just talked about that. Is Y a vowel or consonant suffix? Think about it. Vowel. What do we do when we add a vowel suffix to a 111 word? You say it, double the consonant. All right. now we're going to mark up foggy. So hopefully you still have foggy on your board. If not, get it back on your board. All right, you mark it up, and I'm going to quiz you and see if you got it right. So please remember, this is a vowel, and this is a vowel. Should you put one big scoop? Okay, mark it up. Pause the video until you're done. All right, this is what you should have. Fog. That's your base word. And circle the Y. Did anybody catch that? You probably scooped the FOG and the GY, and I get it. I led you to that. So you probably scooped the GY. I forgot what I was doing for a second. So we're going to run that back, Miss Chatfield. Here we go. This is what I told you the other day. I'm like, oh, when I get going on YouTube videos, sometimes I make mistakes, and there we are. Okay, technically this isn't two vowels, so I'm sorry for what I said, because it's just fog, okay? Fog is the base word. This is the suffix. Y is the suffix. And this is just a bonus letter. So, I apologize. Now we know. Sometimes making mistakes helps us never make that mistake again. So, my bad. Don't count the two vowels. This isn't considered. This is a suffix. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right. I'm switching the paper. We're going to do two more quick things. All right. You're going to tell me yes or no on this paper. You are going to tell me if it is a 111 word, okay, I'm going to ask you if it's a 111 word, and if you say yes, you are going to tell me what we need to do what we need to add before you can add the vowel suffix. I take that back. I want to do something different. On your right, you can erase your right board. I want you to, like how we did foggy, you don't have to write this. How we did foggy, I want you to do the reverse. So I want you to do fog plus Y. And this is what I want. This is all I want. And this is your answer. Because we're going to work backwards. So fog plus Y would equal foggy. We doubled the G. Why? Because this is 111 and this is a vowel suffix. I'll do one with you. All right. I do want you to write this though. Okay. I want you to write the word classy. Classy. Okay. Find the base word and put it right here. Do it and then I'll tell you the answer. Write the base word right here. Okay, hopefully you wrote class. Plus sign. Now put the suffix. Hopefully you put Y. Now this one was easy because the S is already doubled for you because it's floss. All right, let's do another one. You're going to try this one on your own though. Buggy. Some people in the South call a grocery cart a buggy. It is very interesting to me. All right, write the base word plus the suffix. Pause until you're done. You should have wrote bug plus Y. Okay, let's do another one. Floppy. Floppy. Write the base word plus sign the suffix. Pause until you're ready. You should have wrote flop plus Y. All right, there's one more. I had right here, lucky. Okay, write the base word, plus sign, the suffix, and pause until you're ready for the answer. Luck plus Y. Lucky. Awesome job. All right, we have one more thing to do. And that is, we're going to go back to what we've learned first. Like the happy baby, the happy baby, the lost penny, The crazy laddie, I mean the crazy lady. The tidy lobby, I mean tidy lobby. The protest rally, I mean rally. And you are going to do one last practice. In this word, I want you to tell me, why did we double the N? You're just thinking about it. You do not have to say anything out loud. You do not have to write anything. Why did we double this? Hopefully you said, because fun is the base word, and it's 111, and Y is a vowel suffix, so that is a recipe for double. Also, we want the U to be short, so we double the N. You could have said that too, but more than anything, it's because the base word is a 111. And the next piece is that we're adding a vowel suffix. Okay, I want you to do that same thing on the next word. I want you to say the answer. I want you to say, tell me if the base word is a 111. Or it might just be the word. Okay, so first of all, what does this say? The B is doubled, so the O is going to be short, so it's going to say ah. So what is the word? Lobby. Okay, why did we double the B? What would you say? Think it in your head. Pause if you need more time. So this one does not have an actual base word. The word is just lobby. So in this case, it's just the O says ah. That's why we double it. Okay, it's not always going to be what I told you. It's not always going to be a base word. So in that word it is. Okay, so in lobby, we want the O to be short because we want ah. All right, tell me what do you think about this one? Does this have a base word? We could probably argue that pup is a base word. We could probably argue that. I don't really think it is, but okay, maybe, because maybe I think a seal isn't a baby seal called a pup. Sure, we'll say that. All right, so the base word is pup. Why did we double the P? Because this word is a, say it, think it in your head, this word is a, hopefully you said 111, and we're adding a, say it, vowel suffix, and we double the P. Also, we want the U to be short, so we double the P. Okay, this one, what does this say? Well, there's two N's, so the E is going to say eh. So what's the word? Penny. All right, why did we double the N? In this case, pen wouldn't be the base word because it's a penny. It's not actually like something you write with. So in this case, we wanted the E to be short, so we needed to double the N. And this one, same thing. I don't think hap is a base word, so we wouldn't focus on that. But we would say, okay, in the word happy, we want the A to say ah, so we double the P. Okay, all right. You can put all of your stuff away. If we have time, please check the clock of the schedule. You can check Skyward. I think that's very important. Otherwise, you need to clean up. Headphones need to be clean, wrapped up nicely, please. Computer's back. Thank you.